you actually putting lights. Now, in India, here's what they actually do. They'll put lights around their house. Now, when I was teaching this up in the Northeast, we all got so into this, I can't even tell you. People's homes looked like they were lit up like it was Christmas time. So it begins with get some lights going. And then as the day approaches, now this would be, because it's this Saturday, you've got a window of time here. And what you have to be doing is clean. You have to clean everything. And I've spoken about clean before on the air. But Lakshmi is like a real bug for clean. She really wants everything clean. She wants your clothing clean. She wants your space decluttered. Because where it's dirty and nasty and cluttered, she simply can't go. Her frequency is not a match for it. So when you're clearing the space, again, use the tincture bells. Bring in firelight. And here is a chant that every room, when you go into every room, and I mean from the laundry room to the basement, to the attic, to the whatever rooms you've got there that are not your main rooms, but main rooms included, here's the chant, and you want to say this chant 9 times in every room. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's the great Om Mani chant. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. 9 times every room. Get your affairs in order. Straighten out your bank books, your checking accounts. In Hindu, this is actually the New Year. I celebrate everyone's New Year. I love everyone's New Year because it's an opportunity for a new beginning. My favorite New Year actually is the Chinese New Year, simply because my energy resonates very strongly to it. My least favorite New Year is the Western civilization January 1st New Year. There's little or no chi around that New Year. So here we've got a new year coming in. Get your ledgers in order. Get your spreadsheets in order. Get everything on your computer weeded out. Get rid of your old Facebook stuff that no longer is applicable. Get rid of your stuff that if someone looked at it today, you'd cringe. So get what? Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, gone. Get it? Okay. So you want to make sure the entrance to your home or your business, because connected with business, this is when they actually start their business year again over there. And under the law of one, if it's starting again there, it's starting here. So make that entranceway clean, get the fingerprints off, attractive, certainly on the East Coast of the United States, mums, chrysanthemums, they're all radiantly beautiful right now in gold and the burnt oranges. That's worth you putting out this year to draw in this fabulous energy. The other thing is you want to have ready, a whole supply of sweets. Lakshmi enjoys sweets, or just the sensation of it. You also have to take time to make a wish list. Or maybe the wishes, and I'm not even sure I'm into wishes anymore. Make your concrete, this is what I want list this year. And really devote some quality time. If you want your bank account to be fuller, write that down. What do you want? For those of you who have worked with the Lakshmi energy in the past, make sure you give thanks at this point for all she's already brought to your family and to yourselves. So here's an example of some wantings that would be very healthy for you. Debts paid in full. Awakening the vibration of true wealth within yourself. The wealth of health. The wealth of friendships. The wealth of harmony. The wealth of happiness. The wealth of gifts. I love the wealth of gifts. For years and years and years, I have had this consciousness of gifts. And it's really delightfully humorous. People seem to just give me gifts. So change your consciousness. If you get no gifts and you want some, ask for a wealth of gifts. A wealth of new horizons, a wealth of divine opportunities, a wealth of energy and vitality, a wealth of healthy nutrition. That would mean you've got to now start reading the labels, put down the GMO nonsense, get some organic food. You see where that's going. A wealth of balanced rest and quiet time. That's something that Americans seem to shy away from, and they seem to have great pride in. I only had 6 hours sleep last night. It's throwing your system totally out of whack. How about a wealth of growing relationships to deeper levels? Wealth of family unity. That's among the missing these days. How about a wealth of new business ventures? How about a wealth of healthy, honorable children and grandchildren? How about a wealth of healed relationships? You know, those relationships that are sort of hanging out there, that they've never quite been addressed properly because you don't know how to say, I'm sorry? How about a wealth of self-worth and self-esteem? Wealth of learning and education? Wealth of exercise? Wealth of fun? Want me to spell that word? It's F-U-N, kind of right up there with J-O-Y. A wealth of adventure and travel, if that's what you're wanting. A wealth of opportunities to love. Wealth of opportunities to serve. So all of this is embodied in this fabulous Lakshmi energy. So now we get to, okay, it's Saturday, October 29th, and what do? Well, you actually light your lights. You, for the most part, I'm going to suggest you light them most of the day. Just keep them on. However, Lakshmi actually, the entrance point of her frequency is at 6 p.m. Saturday evening. So, to get ready for the entrance date, I encourage you, after you've turned the lights on, go take a bath or shower, put on clean clothing, preferably something red or gold or both. Set up a little altar in a central or obvious space to welcome her. And this could be your kitchen counter for all I care. It doesn't have to be like you know, go down to the Home Depot and get some wood and start making an altar. Keep it simple. It could be your coffee table in the living room. But it should be in an obvious place. And on this little sacred space, put a flower, a candle, a piece of fruit. Here's where you were buying something sweet. Put something sweet. And your written or typed wish list. It's also nice to make an offering from something very much from the earth, like a pretty pebble, a seashell from the ocean, a twig from a tree, a button, a small crystal, but something very dear to you or that you took some thought to get. And if you're so inclined, put a picture of Lakshmi in her honor at this table. I also put on my altar pictures, actual pictures of family members that I am asking for deeper protection for, a closer bond with, just a deeper sense of remembrance. So with all of these things said and done, I have to tell you, I have had some folks go the distance. When she's kind of a foodie and she likes sweets, I have had a couple of gals in some of my seminars come back the following week and tell me this. They made a 8-course dinner for her, several kinds of wine. They had treats and special things. Others have had wine and cheese gatherings for her. Personally, the first time I did this, I was under a lot of pressure. The store was new. The information was coming at me very quickly. I had moved into a new home. It was a 4-story new home. Moved in there all by myself, which I was happy to do, and I loved that house. But oh my golly, it needed a lot of stuff. And there was no way that in the short window of time, I could have this space ready for her and cleaned. So I did my best. I cleaned one room and made it twinkly and kind of went on from there thinking, oh boy, I'm going to be brave because here's what happens next. At 6 o'clock, and I know you're going to think this is insane, but this is very similar to putting out cookies and milk for Santa or carrots for the Easter Bunny. It's along that line. It's moving into a childlike innocence and see where returning to that point of innocence brings you. What can you get from that? And what can that give you? So at 6 o'clock with the lights on, this place is spick and span as you can get it, candles burning, food out, you actually go to your front door, which we now know is free of fingerprints and it's impeccable, and you open the door and energetically you invite this presence in. Now, some of you who have worked energetically, either inviting angels in or different entities in, you know that this is absolutely as real as it's going to get. The rest of you, you probably nodded off, but that's your problem. So when you open the door and you greet her and you invite her in, you certainly take her to the altar and tell her, you know, you are a guest in my house and welcome. And remember this, there's a wonderful expression, a guest in the house is God in the house. And this is the aspect of God. And you can show her around, depending on how brave you are. Now, that first day, that first time I experienced this, I was very brave. I took her everywhere. I took her where there were boxes piled, where there was old ratty carpet still on the floor, where there was no hope of me even having an opportunity to get in and clean it. And as I began to move around, I could feel whatever presence I was feeling more and more deeply. And that particular time, I just began sobbing with, I'm so sorry, it's not as clean as it should be. And I sobbed then the rest of the time she was there because I could feel the presence. And it was like a release of my pent-up energy and my pent-up fears about this enormous new project and assignment that I had been placed on. So brought her back to the altar. After you bring her around, bring her back to the altar, sit down with her, share your list with her, go over it very carefully, and trust that you're taking this pressure off your own shoulders. You know, sometimes we carry too much stuff. We carry other people's sorrow. We carry their problems. We carry our own worst imaginations. So put the stuff down, hand it over to her, and let it be. And tell her of your disappointments and heartaches. And then you're done with it. You don't have to keep carrying it. Tell her about your hopes and your dreams and your aspirations. And then take out any photos that you're guided to show her. Because this is your time to share and express in whatever way is comfortable and meaningful. If you've put some treats out, have some of them. I'd love to tell you all of a sudden your treats are going to magically disappear. That's not going to happen, so don't be looking for it. But you will feel a presence if you're open to it, and that is a treat. And if you've put out some wine, have a glass. What I had put out that first day, because I couldn't even find the wine, is how much I had not unpacked, but I was absolutely very aware of where a lovely bottle of Crown Royal was located. And I thought, well, how appropriate is that whiskey for this evening? Doesn't get much better than Crown Royal, because I was entertaining royalty. After a few minutes, you're going to get the sensation that it's complete. And I just tell you, sit there for a moment or two, absorb all that's happened, thank this presence for manifesting And then you'll know it's time.